What's up, gang? It's Chris Angel coming at you for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. In fact, episode 393. Wow. So let's talk about starting with you versus starting with them. I'm preparing for a virtual keynote speech tomorrow. How about tomorrow? And one of the things that and a workshop. So part of the workshop is actually diving into the things that stop us from cultivating and nurturing the relationships in our audience and our database that are there. I have wrestled with database stuff since the days of real estate back in when I started that in 2001. Database is a big deal in business. Like, you have a database. You have a database of people. Even if you've never moved them into some technical form, like a technical database, you have people in your sphere of influence, people that know you, like you, acquaintances you've met. Like, you have relationships with people. But here's the challenge. If you're like me, you have felt like you can't, or you don't want to just bother them with marketing. Like, great, they're in my database. Now what do I do? Am I supposed to just send them an email? Am I supposed to write a family newsletter and send them a family newsletter? That doesn't feel right. See, your instincts are on. That's the cool part. Like, your instincts are right, I think. You're like, this doesn't feel like there's any context. Right. Yes, like what happens with databases and audiences typically is we just throw random people in there. Now, while they may be friends and family and sphere of influence and whatever in your database, they're still random. In other words, what is the thing that connects them all? The only thing that connects them all is you. Other than that, you don't know what they share in common, what they have, what their interests are. And so this is the challenge of marketing, because what you end up doing is you end up going to, the thought process goes, what do they want to hear from me? And that is an unanswerable question when there is no common thread in the database, in the tribe. In fact, it's not even a tribe. If there's no common thread, there's no tribe. So you go, I need to say something in my Facebook post today. What should I say? And then you don't know. Why? Because you don't know what common thread connects everyone. It's random. And the same thing happens when you sit down to write an email. And the same thing happens when you sit down to write a newsletter. And the same thing happens when you sit down to write an ad. Like, you can't possibly speak in a way that is relevant and meaningful to the people you're trying to serve because your database is full of random people. And this happens because you've started with them. You started this whole thing with them. You're like, I need people, so let me go grab people and put them in my database. Now I've got people, I guess I'm supposed to talk to them. This is how we do it. We're like, okay, let me go get people. Okay, now what do I say? And if you just randomly and quickly grab people, you're missing strategy here. So, by the way, I'm coming at you strong in this video, but only because I've lived this for so long. So listen, underneath the surface of this thing, this starting with them, there is an emotional element. If you go deep enough, for me, there is an emotional element of shame here. The shame is, there's different angles of it. So let me see if I can't unpack some of those for you. One part of this is, I feel ashamed to bother you. I feel ashamed to just interrupt you. That my behavior is that of common and typical marketers who just interrupt and spam people. And I have some shame around that. Now, if I've done it, if I've actually done that before, if I've spammed you or sent you unsolicited things before, then I'll have some evidence to support my shame. But I don't even have to have done it to experience the shame. All I need is the thought of, what do I do? Am I supposed to send you that? And then I go, ooh, no, I can't do that. And my shame directs me a different direction. So that's part of it, right? Shame in the behavior of interrupting people, offending people, which is what most marketing does, and I hate it. So that's partly what is under the surface of us being stuck trying to communicate with our audience or our databases. We're like, I don't know what to say. I don't want to interrupt them. I just had that thought that I could just spam them, but now I feel bad about that. Okay, well, right. Yes. Another piece of shame that comes in is, this is a good one. Like, I should know better. There's some shame in this that if you've been in the personal development track for any length of time, or you've been in business for any length of time, you have this thought like, I should know better. I should just suck it up and do it. Why are others further than me? And then you start to make this something that's wrong with you, and that piles on shame, right? So can you see, look, this is not like we walk around every day in life and just go, oh, I'm full of shame. No, but under the surface, this exists there. And until you can get a healthy relationship to marketing and communicating with people, you will always have this shameful thought or feeling about what marketing is. You'll think, marketing is shameful, but I've got to do it because I got to grow my business. You have to reframe and reacquaint yourself to an authentic approach to marketing so that you don't have to tame the shame dragon, right? How do you do that? So how do you do that, Chris? Perfect. Thank you for asking. Well, here it is. You've got to start to get clear about what you want to say to the world. So in other words, rather than starting with them, meaning I'm going to go out and find people, bring them into my database, and then think, what do I say to you? I'm going to start with me before I ever engage people. I'm going to start with, what do I have to say to the world? What is my message for the world? Once I find that, starting with me, not starting with them, starting with me, once I find that, now I can go build an audience for that. I can go find people who are interested in that conversation. But this is not how we've been taught to build databases. We're like, hey, grab all your friends and family and put them in your database. Now go talk to them. And we're like, talk to them about what? Right, because you started with them rather than starting with you. So here's how you fix the whole thing, gang. You fix the whole thing by starting with you. Just simply start with you. What do you want to say to the world? And by the way that should feel to you is like this can't be wrong. Like this thing that I want to say to the world, this can't be wrong. So when haters come, right, and well-intentioned friends and family are like, hey, I've noticed like you're kind of saying some things, you say to yourself, no, this can't be wrong. This is the thing I'm here to say to the world. Then you go find people who want to play in that conversation. That's it, gang. And by the way, that's how you grow a database. Go build a database around the conversation. Don't build a database around who you know. That's random. Build a database around the people who want to be in the conversation that you want to have. That is strategy. That's strategic. That's smart. Okay? So here's to you, gang. Here's to you starting with you and the conversation you want to lead in the world rather than starting with people and then trying to figure out how do you speak to random people. If you'd like to learn more about how I teach people to not only find the message that can't be wrong, but also then find the people that it's meant for, then you can go to groundswellmethod.com. The link is in the text of this post, groundswellmethod.com. Watch the free videos there, and on the last page is an application for my next upcoming program, which, by the way, at the time of this recording is coming up relatively soon, right? It's in the near future here. So check that out. You'll see the date on that application, and until tomorrow, have a great night.